Scott has done. And what have you made of his character? I mean, the stats about how well he's done speaks for themselves. But as someone walking in to fill the shoes of Jurgen Klopp, I mean, those are big shoes to fill, such a huge character as well, on and off the pitch. How do you reckon he's done so far?
He's done amazingly well. I think there's a calmness about him. He seems to exude confidence. I always remember first game of the season, we were down at Ipswich for a newly promoted side. There was always a bounce about them. I just thought the way he was, the way he spoke, certainly after the game, about not being happy with some of the standards. You know, he took Quansah off at half time, replaced him with Konate. He wasn't afraid to make that decision really on into his career. But I think there's a calmness. There seems to be, the football club seems to be in safe hands, and that's such a big thing to say after such a huge character like Jurgen Klopp's just left. But so far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just replacing a manager, it's also the length of time and the sort of the DNA that Jurgen Klopp brought with him and instilled over a long period of time. So for Arne Slot to come in, he's not changed too much with how the style of the play, but he's brought his own environment to the club, to the players. And I've seen him before matches come at least half an hour before the players come onto the pitch, so a good 2 hours before, just go and sit in the dugout and sort of almost visualise things on the pitch. He seems to be a very considered person. He's not pacing up and down the sideline. You know, his emotional state seems to be quite stable. It compares to how you've got to be as a goalkeeper. You know, at times you can't let the highs and the lows kind of affect that emotional stability, and it does seem like it has that. It's having a positive impact on the players. They had the little blip against Nottingham Forest, but aside from that, they've looked really steady.
They really have, haven't they? Is he the kind of player you'd want to play for, do you think?
The manager? Yeah. I think he's the type of...
Did I say player? I meant manager.
Yeah, no.
Because I was swallowing something, sorry about that. Cough.
He does. He's, they play football the right way. He's made subtle changes. He's not made wholesale changes. It's obvious that he's put his stamp on what was a very good side. He inherited a good squad, but he's playing slightly differently. They're playing a little bit more patient now, but at times you still have that football that we saw under Jurgen Klopp, and he's got tremendous players. You know, you don't need wholesale changes, but what I like about it, he's put his mark on it, but they're still winning games, and of course there's still a long way to go, but it's a great start for him.
And jobs like this can really be a poison chalice. You look at Unai Emery taking over from Arsene Wenger. You look at David Moyes taking over from Sir Alex Ferguson as well. When there are big characters and and someone new comes in, everything can really change. Whereas for him, he seems to have just slotted in seamlessly.
Oh, lovely. He has indeed. And it's not just him. Think the numerous backroom staff, the coaches, medical department. There's been huge changes across all of that backroom staff. So it's not, as I said, he obviously heads all of that up, and he'll have brought in some of his own ideas, some of his own personal people that he's worked alongside. And so it's the whole infrastructure that's been unsettled. So I think to have slotted in so seamlessly, as you said there, is almost quite remarkable. And there's a lot of thought that's gone into how do we, because it is a we, how do we go about doing that? Because, to create, off the back of Jurgen Klopp having such a positive environment, having a real good feel factor about the whole club, not just the players, but the whole club, I think it was a big, big shoes to fill.
Absolutely, but he seems to be slotting it. We're going to use that quite a lot, aren't we, throughout the season? There's a calm, quiet authority about him as well. I was really impressed with the press conference before this Champions League game, because this was a huge night for him coming into this game, but where he just came in, he was understated, really firm, and he was just saying, you know what, it's a call to arms. I want everyone to stand up and just say, you know what, you've missed us, haven't you?
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to ask him in a little minute. I think this is him coming over now. But he will be so pleased with how it's gone so far. And also the way the players have behaved. I mean, I'm going to ask him now in a minute, but he must be incredibly pleased by how receptive the players been to new ideas.